the highlights. Lagos State Governor to unveil 16 blocks of 6 new standard schools. Federal government announces plans to tighten regulations on animal imports. On the front, an Israeli army orders first evacuation after strike in Gaza. In sports, Nigeria's under-18 men's handball team finishes second at the IHF Trophies Intercontinental Phase in Pristina, Kosovo. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is set to unveil 16 blocks of 6 new standard schools across the metropolis. Speaking at a press conference heralding the unveiling of the project at Alausa, Ikeja, the chairman, Special Committee on Rehabilitation of Public Schools, SCRPS Hakim Smith, noted that the new schools were technologically driven with smart equipment to meet global standards of teaching and learning in a conducive environment.
We are incorporating cutting-edge technology to enhance the learning experience. The innovative approach aims to provide a faster and more efficient way to construct schools while promoting quality education.
Commissioner for Information and Strategy Benga Motosho describes the achievement as remarkable by the Sanwo-Olu administration over 200 iconic education projects in its stable across the 6 education districts of the state in the last 6 years.
I believe that the administration of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, Mr. Governor, has done a lot in the area of education, that every song that we have in that sector, we must sing. Today is quite, in my own, very remarkable that all of the things that we have done, about 15 schools that can compare with anywhere in the world.
Commissioner for Basic Education Jamiu Ali Balogun, who noted that the provision of the new schools will improve teaching and learning outcomes for students in line with the Themes Plus developmental agenda, said 500 teachers were employed last month to fill the vacancies for the new schools. Ali Balogun hinted that Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has approved about 2 billion naira for the payment of the May-June WAEC fees for senior secondary school students.
And these buildings comes with laboratories and then ICT special rooms, which will make teaching and learning outcome very conducive for students. And it is in line with the Team Agenda Plus, whereby education and technology is very crucial and dear to Mr. Governor's heart.
The committee was inaugurated to address the numerous decays in infrastructure in Lagos public schools. The Lagos State's Command and Control Center has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring public safety and effective emergency response. Its General Manager Femi Giwa, in an interview, highlighted the agency's role in coordinating emergency responses and monitoring public safety across the state. Reacting to claims that the emergency lines are sometimes unresponsive, Giwa emphasized that the Lagos State government, under the leadership of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has made significant investment in upgrading emergency infrastructure. The general manager acknowledged that safety campaigns have helped improve public awareness, though call volumes fluctuate based on various factors.
Then sometimes there are periods we call the peak periods, and we have differentials in the number of calls that come in. But on the average, we can tell you categorically, based on the dense population of the state, and then the peculiar nature of the state, where you have interaction between man and man environment, component, and then all other, interesting factors that actually contribute to, our vulnerability to emergency. And we need to educate our people, and our people need to understand that the responsibility of government is to ensure public safety. And I want to say without missing word that the administration of Mr. Governor has done so much.
According to him, emergency call trends depend on the prevailing situation at any given time, ensuring that the center's focus is to ensure that its facilities can handle calls efficiently, as well as the deployment of responders. Giwa assured residents that the Lagos State government remains committed to strengthening the safety and security framework with ongoing improvements set to enhance emergency response services across the state. Lagos State Consumers Protection Agency LASCOPA has marked this year's World Consumers Day with the theme, A Just Transition to a Sustainable Lifestyle. Speaking at the event, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said the annual event serves as a reminder of the vital role that consumers play in shaping the economy and society. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Bimbola Salohonde, noted that the event also marked the importance of informed decision-making and immense responsibility in ensuring that the rights of consumers are upheld. He commended the General Manager of LASCOPA, Afolabi Sholebo, for his unwavering dedication towards safeguarding the consumer's interest and promoting fair, trustworthy, and equitable business practices in Lagos State.
The phrase consumer is king cannot be more appropriate than now, as we ensure that the kingly robe is not stained. Because when the king's robe is stained, the stains manifest in our health, environment, and living standards.
On her part, Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment Folashade Ambrose Medebem said consumers play a central role in shaping market, influencing businesses and driving innovation. Ambrose Medebem, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Olugbe Migaino, noted that government, businesses and civil society groups must collaborate to ensure that the transition to a more sustainable future is just, inclusive and beneficial to all.
Industrialization is not just about factories and production lines. It is about innovation-driven manufacturing, world-class infrastructure, sustainable development, and inclusive economic growth. It is about empowering businesses, creating jobs, and setting the stage for a resilient and competitive Lagos that thrives in the global marketplace.
In his presentation, former Vice Chancellor, Lagos State University Olarewaju Fagbon, highlighted critical factors that can lead to achieving sustainable lifestyle, to include affordable health care service, transportation, fulfilling employment, among others. To mitigate the rising cost of food and spread hope, the Lagos Food Bank Initiative, LFBI, in partnership with Quality Foods Africa, have distributed food items to 200 families in Oworoshoki, Lagos. Speaking at the event, the Executive Director, LFBI, Michael Sombola, said the project aimed at bringing relief to the community, adding that the content in the box would serve a family of 5 for about 2 to 3 months. Sombola said it contained staple foods and nutrition. According to him, some communities are usually marginalized, noting that the LFBI is determined to ensure it builds a society where no one is left behind by reaching out to the most vulnerable in the society. He explained that the Food Bank Initiative serves more than 70 communities, leveraging on collaboration with businesses and the private sector. Sombola said such collaborations show how businesses and non-profit organizations can be at the forefront of fighting hunger and malnutrition. He said the initiative was concerned about how families are grappling with inflation and high cost of living. Also speaking, Head External Affairs and Business Operations of Quality Foods Africa, Damilala Oyewole, said her organization is committed to giving back to the society. She said the initiative offered crucial assistance to individuals and families facing severe economic hardship by providing essential food items to help ease their daily struggles. The new Board Secretary of Lagos State Christian Pilgrims Welfare Board, Bolabo Okudero, has resumed work amid celebrations from members of staff. Okudero assured the board of his commitment to continuing his predecessor's legacy of service and excellence, emphasizing teamwork and unity within the board. Speaking earlier during the handover ceremony, the former board secretary Yetunde Igbafe reflected on her rewarding 8-year tenure, expressing gratitude for her time with the board. Buffett commended Okudero, describing him as someone with strong Christian values and professional integrity. Buffett successfully led 381 people first and second batch of the year 2024 pilgrims to the land of Israel and the Kingdom of Jordan with a heartfelt Thanksgiving service upon their safe return. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has announced plans to tighten regulations on animal import by setting up control posts at key borders points to monitor livestock movement. Minister of Livestock Development Edi Mahia announced this while receiving a delegation from the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service in Abuja. Mahia emphasized that the initiative aims to protect public health and the nation's livestock industry, stressing that any animal lacking proper health certification before entering the country would be detained. He noted that 60% of the cattle entering Nigeria come from neighboring countries and often cross the borders unchecked. Mahia also expressed concerns over the rapid decline in the donkey population, warning that no donkey skin should be exported without legal authorization. The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service, Vincent Isegbe, reaffirmed the agency's commitment to preventing animal diseases and regulating agricultural imports. A bill seeking to amend the Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023 to require social media platforms to establish physical offices within the country has passed the second reading in the Senate. The bill is sponsored by Senator representing Delta North Ned Nwoko. Nwoko quoted a Global Web Index report by Business Insider Africa, which says Nigeria has the highest social media usage in Africa and ranks second globally, with over 220 million people spending an average of 3 hours and 46 minutes daily online. According to him, despite this heavy engagement, major social media platforms like Facebook, X, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat do not have physical offices in Nigeria, unlike in other countries. Omoko listed limited local representation, economic losses, and challenges in enforcing legal and data protection policies as some of the issues caused by the absence of these offices. The bill also introduces new rules for bloggers, requiring them to open a verified office in any state capital, keep proper employee records, and join a National Association of Bloggers headquarters in Abuja. In foreign news now, the Israeli army has threatened residents of several areas in Gaza to evacuate immediately after launching a wave of deadly attacks on the enclave that killed at least 404 Palestinians and wounded 562 others. The army issued the forced evacuation orders on Tuesday to get in the neighborhoods of Beit Hanun, Kibbutz Kuzas, Abbasan al-Kabira, and Abbasan al-Jadida. Army's Arabic language spokesman, Avichay Arjure, on X said civilians in the targeted areas should head to shelters in western Gaza City or Khan Yunis. The orders were issued in the aftermath of the Israeli attacks on the enclave. Following the attack, Hamas said the Netanyahu government had chosen to overturn a fragile 2-month ceasefire agreed between the two parties, which came into effect on January 19. In sport now, Nigeria's under-18 men's handball team has finished second at the IHF Trophy's intercontinental phase following a 34-3 loss to Kosovo after overtime in the final of the competition in Pristina, Kosovo. The team led by Emeka Namani went into the match determined to avenge an early defeat against the host in the preliminary stage, but they were limited by a resolute defense of Kosovo, and despite scoring vital goals, they settled for a pulsating 13-13 in the first half. Nigeria went into the second half of the match outscoring the host and led 26-24 less than 3 minutes to the end of the match at Christian Faloki and Mustafa Mohammed combined for 13 goals, but they could not hold their own as the Lost scored 2 quick goals to force overtime with the help of Amar Mokoli. And that's it on the news at 6. But just before we go, remember, speed thrills but kills. Please always avoid excessive speed. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration set up a 1 billion naira fund targeted at businesses in the tourism, hospitality, entertainment, art and culture sectors, both loans and grants? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is set to unveil 16 blocks of 6 new standard schools across the metropolis. The federal government has announced plans to tighten regulations on animal import by setting up control posts at key border points to monitor livestock movement. We also told you that the Israeli army has threatened the residents of several areas in Gaza to evacuate immediately after launching a wave of deadly attacks on the enclave that killed at least 404 Palestinians and wounded. Finally, in sport, Nigeria's under-18 men's handball team has finished second at the IHF Trophy's intercontinental phase following a 34-30 loss to Kosovo after overtime in the final of the competition in Kosovo. For contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Majid Ololadi. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good evening.